Welcome to Superclef City. This is a living composition, a vibrant metropolis constructed from musical stabs, where every measure hums with energy. But a threat marches through the streets. Meet the metronome. His objective, lock every note into a rigid, uniform, medium-paced rhythm. As his pendulum swings, the city loses its color. The music flattens out. The emotion and pacing that gave these streets their soul vanish. Without specific pacing instructions, any piece of music degrades into a sterile click track. Tempo provides the pulse that gives a melody its physical weight and narrative direction. To fight back against that mechanical monotony, the city calls in its first line of defense, massive, heavily armored heroes built to hold their ground. On our glossary chart, the Italian term grave instructs the player to perform the music very slow and solemn. Right beside it is largo, translating to slow and stately. Backing them up is lento, a straightforward instruction to simply play slowly. When a composer writes these terms on sheet music, they are demanding deliberate, emotional gravity rather than a simple reduction in speed. But the metronome adapts. As he tries to outmaneuver the slow-moving defenders, the city summons high-energy speedsters to flank his rigid march. Returning to our chart, we find presto, operating as a blur of motion that translates to very fast. Flanking it is vivace, meaning lively and quickly. It requires spirit and character in the performance, not just raw velocity. These fast tempo markings inject adrenaline into a piece, transforming a standard melody into a thrilling, joyous sprint. Bass speeds alone cannot win this battle. The metronome can predict constant speeds. To break his mechanical grip, the music needs nuanced, unpredictable transitions. Down in the other terms section of the glossary, we meet the support sidekicks. The utility words più and meno translate to more and less. They need a target to modify, which brings us to mosso, the Italian term for movement. When these words join together on the page, they create precise adjustments. Più combined with mosso tells the player to add more speed. To finally break the metronome's grip, the heroes use a largando. Because this term requires the player to broaden the music, becoming slower and louder simultaneously, it creates a surge of sound that a mechanical, constant tick track cannot replicate. Modifiers and transitional terms act as the connective tissue in a score. They allow a song to breathe and shift, keeping it from remaining trapped in a single gear. With the mechanical rhythm broken, Superclef City blooms back into color. The streets return to life with a dynamic score that pushes and pulls in tempo according to the needs of the melody. While these Italian terms appear on Grade 2 exams, their real-world function is to provide the blueprints for a performance. These words represent a cast of characters waiting on the page. As the musician, you are the director of this universe. Mastering these terms allows you to decode the composer's exact emotional intent, transforming frozen notation into a fluid human performance.